I'm Ratnabhushan, a friend, motivator, and guide to IAS aspirant, international motivational speaker, leadership trainer, CEO, coach, political strategist, and policy advisor. Welcome to ASG IAS. ASG IAS believe in quality, commitment, and success. Ethics, William K. Frankena. Ethics, William K. Frankena. This is the book and facts. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful book. Part 2. In each of these arguments, Socrates appealed to a general moral rule or a principle which, upon reflection, he and his friend Crito accept as valid. Number 1, that we ought never to harm anyone, that we ought never to harm anyone, that we ought to keep our promises, that we ought to obey or respect our parents and teachers. In each case, he also used another premise which involves a statement of the fact and applies the rule or principle to the case in hand. If I escape, I will do harm to society. If I escape, I will breaking a promise. If I escape, I will be disobeying my parent and teacher. Then he draws a conclusion about what he should do in his particular situation. This is a typical pattern of reasoning in moral matters and is nicely illustrated here. In this pattern of moral reasoning, one determines what one should do in a particular situation by reference to a certain general principles or rules which one takes as a promise from which to deduce a particular conclusion by a kind of practical syllogism, as Aristotle called it. One takes a general principle and applies them to individual situation. How natural this procedure, it will be apparent to any reader to Crito. In all fairness, however, we must observe at this point that some moral thinkers have different view of the logic of moral deliberation, as we see in the chapter 2, that deontologists, another proponents of situation ethics, take a particular judgment to be basic morality rather than general ones, which they regard as inductive generalization from particular cases, if they recognize the existence of general rules at all. It happens that in the Crito, Socrates thinks his three principles all lead to the same conclusion, but sometimes when we two or more rules apply to the same case, this is not true. In fact, most moral problems arise in situations where there is a conflict of duties. That is, where one moral principle pulls one way and another pulls the other way. Socrates is reprinted in Plato's apology as saying that if the state spares his life on condition that he no longer teach as he has been doing, he will not obey because he has been assigned the duty of teaching by the god Apollo. His teaching is necessary for the true good of the state. He would then be involved in a conflict of duties. His duty to obey the state applies, but so do two other duties, and these he judges to take a precedence over his duty to obey commands of the state. Here, then he involves the problem not just by applying to rules, for this is not enough, but by determining which rules take precedence over which others. This is another typical pattern of reasoning in ethics. To return to the Crito, Socrates completes his reasoning by answering his friend's arguments in favor of escaping by contending that he will not really be doing himself, his friends, or even his family any good by becoming an outlaw or going into exile, that death is not an evil to an old man who has done his best, whether there is a hereafter or not. In these other words, he maintains that there are no good moral grounds on the other side and no good prudential ones, which would count only if moral considerations were not decisive either. Thank you so much. Please carry on.